Good morning, everybody. Hey, we got extra edition. We got Espresso Extra Edition. How is that? This is our first extra edition. Yay.
Oh my god. We got an extra shot to go for today.
It's just an excuse to drink coffee. That's all it is. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. No.
Yeah, okay, bye guys. We'll see you next time.
I've had quite a little I've had a lot to drink this morning, and not alcohol, caffeine. So I'm a little bit wired. I didn't sleep that great last night. I don't think Cheshire did either. Not that we had any relationship. We both were different places having bad sleep, okay? But yeah, it was a long night. I was going over a lot of things. She was going over a lot of things. So I appreciate everybody showing up this morning for this. I don't know where this is going to go. I've got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, a lot of screenshots I want to show. Cheshire's got some things she wants to show. But we're going to, as usual, start off with, am I an asshole?
Yeah.
Yay. I like this. I like to see if people are assholes, because God knows we know a lot of them.
All right, this one is titled, Am I the Asshole for Ruining Jeans for Women?
Oh, I don't like the way this one's going already.
I work at an office where I'm allowed to have a beard and long hair, but my manager is stingent on the no jeans policy. She frequently ensures that no one is wearing jeans and is wearing professional attire. Problem is, for the past few months that I've been here, the women in the office have always worn jeans. Tight, dark, professional-looking jeans, but jeans nonetheless. That is, until a few days ago. I love wearing jeans, and have always felt I could make them professional too. I was complaining about it to a friend and a coworker when my manager walked into the staff room. She said something basically confirming her stance on jeans. I said, well, the girls get to wear jeans. No, they don't. Then my coworker, Amanda, walked in wearing jeans. I pointed that out. My manager confronted Amanda, telling her that she wasn't allowed to wear jeans. In the moment, Amanda appeared playfully mad at me, but I went over to her house last weekend, and she brought up the incident twice. Again, sort of playfully, but I think she might actually be mad. I apologized, saying I didn't want to ruin jeans for women, but to prove that someone can look professional wearing jeans. Am I the asshole?
No. Yeah, I'm going to vote no on this one. And the reason why is I think she was trying to make it a point to the manager, because I think the manager's kind of probably wrong on this. I think people should be comfortable at work. And if something is looking professional and it's comfortable and it's something that makes people want to work, I mean, look, we've all been in the workforce. And when somebody tells you, hey, you have to wear this, you have to wear that, it is something we don't like, even though we accept that we have to have certain codes of standard in dress attire. But if that's the way the norm was for a while and it was working, why change it? It's just gonna make your employees angry. But I think that she was right to point out there was a hypocrisy going on, or there's a double standard, or there was some flaw in the managerial thinking. Now that was the point, to try to make the manager think. Now obviously it didn't work too well.
Clearly, the manager does not recognize that the pants that the women are wearing in the workplace are actually jeans.
Right.
So if you're at the point where you can't tell, how are you even enforcing this rule anyway?
Right. Why bother with the rule then?
And why is it only the women?
Yeah. Right? Why is it something that needs to be enforced if you can't tell the difference and they already look professional and addressed it appropriately? Yeah. Then why is it even an issue? It sounds like the manager has some kind of personal reasons for it of some kind. But yeah, I don't think she was an asshole.
The one thing they get to power trip about, fucking jeans.
Some managers are like that, actually.
I think people need to be comfortable at work. And I also think there's a lot of workplaces overdo the point of the dress standard when it's not necessary.
Yeah.
If you work in an office and you don't take clients in your office, should you have to dress like you're business casual even? Why? Why?
I think
it's all you in a group working together.
Yeah, no, I still think there's a standard. I still think when you're most people, when they're dressed up, they feel better. They more confident. I think there's to be said about that.
They should still be comfortable. I'm not saying they should dress like.
I'm
not saying they should dress like me. They shouldn't be a.
Nobody wants to dress like. Yeah, don't ever dress like Cheshire.
Don't ever.
Fashion attire, not her thing.
Yeah, my God.
Ask like Demi, or ask somebody else if you want fashion tips, but not Chesh.
Don't talk to me.
Try that once. Bad mistake.
Right? Can't take me anywhere. But But you can be put together and comfortable without arbitrary restrictions, is what I mean.
Yes, I agree with that. All right, so I don't think she's an asshole manager, maybe, but anyways, let's try to dive into this. This is going to be a short episode. I don't expect this to go very long, maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45, I don't know. But I think it needs to be talked about because let me give a recap to what happened in the last 48 hours to kind of catch people up to speed. People know that I was seriously considered giving thought to litigation to Katie for defamation per se for some of the accusations she's made over the last several months. I had some people notify her of this to see if she would recant. There's reasons for that, obviously. And she did. And although she says that this wasn't the reasons why she recanted, she says she looked at the lawsuit and wanted to recant. Okay, whatever. But she actually admitted that, she was given misinformation and that, there was no fraud whatsoever. I showed her all the evidence and she was right there in front of her. Which, by the way, how many times did I offer to show her before? And I think Bullinator tried to tell her. And what'd she do?
Boole said one thing saying, "Hey, I was in the meeting. This isn't the case." Blocked.
Yeah.
Blocked.
Which is her favorite thing to do. Now, I accepted her apology, and I still do. I do think her accounting was correct. I do think that what she told me and what what actually happened do jive. So I think she was misled. I think that she probably did believe these things. So I'm not going to fault her for any of that. Right?
I will point out, just jumping onto this one, Unirock actually covered a little bit of this yesterday or last night.
Oh, that guy?
I don't know what time it is. Who YouTube?
I love Unirock.
What dis?
Unirock covered new extra show. Who dis?
Who dis? Unirock made a really good point, is that even if you were lied to, you're still responsible for your own actions because all of the information was made available to you. All you had to do was go look. Kyle is on video. Oh, it's all of this stuff.
I agree with Unirock. Look, I could have gone much further. I could have said, look, the evidence was out there. Your responsibility is do your due diligence. You can't just blame it all on Kyle. And I totally agree with that.
The journalist.
She had told a friend of mine that she's an investigative reporter, not a journalist, not understanding that an investigative reporter is an investigative journalist. That is part of investigative journalism. That's what it is. But whatever, neither here nor there. But yeah, you're right. I think she had a lot of personal responsibility she didn't take, and her video didn't take, personal responsibility. It was all blaming Kyle, which, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of blame there. But I was willing to accept it and say, okay, you're off my radar. It's good enough for me. This is what I wanted to at least recognize.
It was amicable enough.
Amicable enough. Good way to put it. But then I was like, well, you still have this outstanding thing about this bizarre charge of sexual harassment. Just throw that out there, right? Well, she was like, didn't want to talk about it. I'm like, wait a minute here. I mean, you made a public thing about it. I have a right to know what you're talking about, right? And publicly so. And she said, well, I'm not going to talk about this public. You could DM me. Now, I did misunderstand that. I thought, she's like, my DMs are open. I thought that anybody could ask her via DM. I may have misunderstood that. Fine. But the people that did try to ask her in DM, they all got blocked. They all messaged me. Blocked. And she even told me, Steve, drop this or I will block you again. Didn't say a word to her afterwards. Go look at the Twitter feed. Nothing after this. Several hours later, I get a tweet. I get a tweet from somebody, or I get a message from somebody showing her a tweet, which I'll show you here in a few, saying that women here. You know what? I'll just show it. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's so bizarre. But the funniest thing was when I went to go respond to it, I found out I was blocked. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't say anything to her afterwards because she's like, I'm going to block you. And I was like, I really don't want that because I would like to have communications with her, but nope.
I like that you just got blocked anyway.
Yeah, I got blocked anyway.
Talk about this in private, Steve. Okay, blocked. Talk about this in private, or I'll block you. You know what this is? This is open the door and we'll burn your house to the ground. Don't you mean or? Oh, whatever. Open the door or we'll burn your house to the ground. I don't know. That seems like a pretty crucial conjunction.
Yeah, I don't think she understands logic like that. So, all right. So let me show you this. Hang on. That image down a little bit. All right. So like I said, somebody says me this, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? She says, victim blaming and shaming is never acceptable. If a woman tells you that a man made an inappropriate sexual comment to her, believe her. Don't question her. I'm a professional married and I'm a professional married and discussing penis size while I'm working is not acceptable behavior. Period. And then she says, you must apologize to him because you lied. Nope, I didn't lie. How about something? How about not saying how hot? By the way, I'm having a hard time with my context here. How about not saying how hot I am and discussing about dick size while I'm working? Okay. Now, there's a few things. Okay, a few things wrong here. First of all, I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. I just don't. I really freaking don't. But more importantly, and let me see if I can close this. Wait a sec. Damn it. Okay. So what's funny is that in 2018, she said just the opposite.
Oh, I've got that one.
Do you have that one? I have it too. No, I have it right here.
Okay, you want to pull it up and I'll read it so you don't have to struggle with your context?
Well, this one's big. I can actually read this one, but go ahead.
Well, there you go. Then go. No, go ahead.
No.
This is...
I have to include you. You're part of the show.
Oh, all right.
It's in the contract that you didn't sign.
I just...
Oh, well, wait. I'm sorry. You signed figuratively. Do people know about that? I don't think I mentioned anything about that, have I?
I don't think anybody said that.
Oh, little. Okay, I just let it slip. Little side note. It's so funny. Should I talk about this? Do I really want?
I think you should wait.
You think so?
I think you should wait. Well, this will be a nugget for next time.
It's so good though.
It is really good nugget for next time.
How about I just give a teaser, like a little teaser?
Okay. All right.
Supposedly, I had signed something, but not literally. I signed it figuratively. A legal document that I supposedly signed figuratively. You all figure that shit out, okay? All right.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
So, December 3rd, 2018, Katie had said, as a feminist that just turned 40 years old, I need to get something off my chest. I believe survivors when they share their stories of sexual assault. However, I will not be told that I must believe every baseless accusation of sexual harassment just because I'm a woman. #MeToo. Then, following up, someone told me I had to take every allegation of sexual assault seriously, even if it sounds like utter bullshit, because I have to believe all survivors.
Now I don't know which one was first. I think the bottom one was first.
Would this be Katie engaging in rape apologetics?
Possibly.
No. It would. Absolutely.
Yeah, no. And by the way, I would agree with her on this totally. Right? I mean, this is normal thought processes, right? But all of a sudden later on, when I'm asking her to provide evidence of this supposed sexual harassment, which everybody knows is bullshit because she threw it out there in some random live chat. Steve, sexual harassment. People are like, what are you talking about? And she's like, talking about how it happened to somebody else and this and that. It was all over the place. It didn't make any sense. But we're like, what are you talking about, right? And now it's like, oh, you can't even ask me about it. You have to believe me by fiat because I'm a woman. No. Now, here's the thing. I was willing to even forsake most of this, right? Because we all know that Katie has no standards, no ethics, and is not honest. And it did bother me, right? It was like, whatever. She's being Katie. So I was willing to look past this. However,
that's the Tom Jump argument. Oh, Kyle just being Kyle.
Katie's being Katie. You know what? Shit, Tom Jump might have something here. God.
It's only crime.
No, you're making me think. Now I'm having to reconsider my stance with Tom Jump because it actually his epistemology works in this particular case. Katie's being Katie. God, I don't like you anymore. This is causing my brain to melt. Okay, that's for another show. But that's good. That is actually brilliant. I have to think about that. Katie's being Katie. But anyways, when I saw her saying that you have to believe a woman by fiat just because she claims that she's been harassed, I'm adamant like that. People remember a story years ago. The one time in my life that a woman had actually said something about me at work, I fought my ass off. Like, this is bullshit. Now, they did find out that she was lying. She was no longer with the company. But it was one time in all my life that I was like, what the fuck is going on here? She was mad. She just made up a story. It was nothing. And it wasn't even like, it wasn't even like any contact or anything like that. But it was enough to...
Did I misread something? I apologize if I have misread something. Somebody in the chat said that Katie said sexual harassment, but I read sexual assault. It says share their stories of sexual assault, and then baseless accusations of sexual harassment, and then someone told me I had to believe every allegation of sexual harassment seriously. If I misread that, I apologize. That is what it says. That's one of the reasons why it's on screen.
Yeah. So, no, you can't. You shouldn't just believe any. Okay, what's the difference between a woman saying sexual assault and a man just saying assault? Right? And by the way, men can be sexual assaulted too, but I know that sounds like rape apologetics, but it is true. I mean, but if I say, hey, you know what? God damn it, Cheshire slapped me. You know, she beat me upside my head. Well, do we believe Steve just because he said it? Well, no, there should be some evidence for that. Now, granted, my close friends, I would expect them to at least give me the benefit of the doubt. That's because I do them, right?
Well, the benefit of the doubt is now they're going to question further and look into it.
Right.
That's what the benefit of the doubt means. It doesn't mean you automatically just believe them. It means that you're giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're telling you the truth, and so you're going to investigate further.
Right.
If you feel that further is warranted, and in that case, it would be.
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, my real close friends, I am going to believe them, but I am going to still look into it, right? Because
you're going to ask them more questions.
Right. But that pissed me off, right? Not that she accused me again. That wasn't really what made me upset. And I really wasn't that upset. But what made me go, okay, she's back on my radar, was that she wants to run a narrative that you have to believe women regardless. And I'm very much adamantly against that for anybody, men, women, whatever. I think there should be some reasons. Now people have asked her, you know, what is all this about? Now, there's been 2 stories that have come out of this. And I don't think that I've conflated them. But whatever, possibly, but I've heard different things from different people, and so there's only 2 possibilities of what she was talking about. Okay, the first one, which I've already said yesterday, if you guys watched the show yesterday, so let me find this.
Self-plug. Get yourself a smug.
and watch yesterday's show. All right, so when I had Mercedes Carrera on, it was tweeted out, and
I want to explain who Mercedes Carrera is.
Actually, can you do that while I find this other? Let me get the precursor of this tweet. Oh, yeah, I found it.
Yeah. You found it.
But go ahead. I need to include you because you're a co-host. It's in your contract.
Mercedes works in the sexual business, and she was a guest on Non Sequitur.
By the way, you see why I do 95% of everything around here? Yeah. I let Cheshire make one executive decision, and now she owes my channel.
Yeah. Whole thing. It's all mine.
It's all hers.
All of it's mine.
All of it. Everything. She owns all YouTube.
There have been others that have tried to take over Steve's shit. They have all failed, where I will succeed.
Cheshire owns YouTube, and you're all her supplicants now. So it was shouted out.
10%.
Yeah, no, it's either 95 or 5. You get the 95. I bought a smug too, but it hasn't come in yet, and I'm really pissed. I want to drink my snug when I do the show.
Believe it or not, I actually have not done the graphics for this show. This has all been Steve and Steve outsourcing. None of the graphics on the on this particular show have been done by me. The only thing that's been done by me that's been on the show is the smug itself.
Yeah, everything's been done by me except the opener. That was done by Tao.
Yeah.
Tao Ceti.
Oh, look, it's almost like we're open and honest about the shit that goes on. Weird.
And by the way, I've included in every video, I've included Tao Ceti Alpha as, you know, credit to him, although he didn't care one way or another. He said he spent a whole 30 seconds doing it. No, I'm kidding. I don't know how long he spent on it, but you know, I was thrilled to death that he gave me a little opener, and I do appreciate it. Now, if you can make one for this show, I'm sorry, did that come out loud? I just, throw it out there. Tal's like, you're pushing it, Steve. He's like, I don't even like you that much. But anyways, get back on topic. So Mercedes was on the show. Mercedes is a porn star that was really articulate and intelligent. Now, unfortunately, she has some legal stuff, which people are aware of. And I do hope that, she's found innocent on it. Again, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt because I know her personally, or at least, to some degree. And the charges are very horrific. And I like to think that she's innocent of them, right? But I had said, don't forget to follow her on Twitter, people. Not safe for work, but why are you browsing Twitter while working? Anyways, working. This is something that Katie was saying while working, right? So, again, this is my hypothetical situation. Purely my conspiracy theory here. I will admit this. I'm pulling a uni rock here. Because Unirock would be like, this is my conspiracy, but, I don't really have enough to back it. But it's no opinion that she might be conflating a bunch of stuff in her head to run this victim narrative. But she says, sounds interesting, right? And then I say,
Other way.
I'm going backwards, huh?
You're going the wrong way.
There
Good
you go.
morning, everyone.
This is why I need a producer. But then I say, she was amazing, brilliant, funny, personable, hot as fuck. A great time was had by all. And we look forward to having her back in October, her schedule permitting. To which Katie Joyce said, well, she's got some boobs, though, which
So
a lot of
let's
problems
real
here.
quick. Let's real quick scroll it back up for a second there. So we've got Steve here saying somebody is amazing, brilliant, funny, personable, and attractive. And then scroll down again. Boobs, though.
Yeah, she got boobs, yeah. So notice the hotness, though. So I'm talking about hot, right? And by the way, I have said women are hot. I say it frequently. Now, I will tell you this. To the best of my knowledge, I have no recollection of ever saying Katie Joyce is hot. If I did, it was probably along the lines of trying to make her feel good or something, because I have never found her attractive. I mean, this is not me trying to cover up. People know I've never gone along with Katie. Okay, so I'm sorry, she's just not somebody I find attractive. So if I'm
pretty sure you said something along these lines when, even I was like, "Ooh, Steve, maybe don't say that." Was like when she first said this thing, and you were like, "Ew." Second best.
I don't want to bag up because people be like, now you're just making fun of her looks, and I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm just saying that I don't.
That was just his honest reaction when he first found out about it. It wasn't like.
Now you're giving away too much.
Second best Bob for £5 says two shows in a row for UK cheers.
Yay! Too much transparency here. Okay, but you can see how. And by the way, this wasn't brought to my attention. Somebody else, somebody wasn't a parody account, one of her commentary accounts, was telling me all this and saying that this is what she was referring to, and blah blah. And this is why I've been telling people. This is why I think she conflated and stuff. But the funniest thing was, wow, she's got some boobs though. I'm like, oh, is Katie sexually harassing me now by talking about her about somebody else's boobs? What? Where's this double standard here? Right? But then it got even more bizarre. I mean, you think it can't get any worse, right? It can. You can. So now I got to find this. Let me show this real quick. So these aren't in any order, but she says Steve hosted a show I was on for a bit, but co-hosted with his former partner Kyle. He's mad at me for their business falling out. By the way, no. Why wouldn't I be mad for her of that? Matter of fact, I have said numerous times I think she was played, and I really don't hold her that much accountable, but I hold other people that are active in this that I believe are active, like Goddess Engineer, Caitlin Chloe, Jimmy Snow, Mr. Atheist. I find them to be in a different level.
Yeah, that's the thing that's really bizarre when it comes to the way Katie has handled this situation. You've got GE and Casey and Jimmy and whoever coming out to defend Kyle's actions. Meanwhile, you've got Katie over here all by her lonesome throwing out random accusations at Steve.
Right. But I'm trying to ignore them, right? Because I'm like, nobody trusts Katie. She's obviously been demonstrated over many, many years. I have talked to some people that have known her all her life, and I'm amazed that the dozens and dozens and dozens of people have had experiences with her. It's just blown away that she has been able to do this for so long and get away with it, because she turns it into a victim narrative. And I am convinced, again, Unirock time, my personal conspiracy theory is that she thrives on doing all this and then getting all the attention from people going, oh, Katie, you shouldn't have to deal with this, and just love and adoration. I think something is wrong with her upstairs, and I want to make this very clear. Mental health is important, and it should not be mocked. I walked out of a debate the other day because I thought it was unethical to mock, basically to go talk to somebody that I thought was having mental issues, right? And that was Flat Earther Aussie Jesus. So I do have an understanding of that. I'm very ethical when it comes to that. I do not think people with mental health should be stigmatized, but I have to point it out that I do think that something's not quite right with her. But anyways, she says, don't trust anything he says, which seems to be a pattern, because I have screenshots of her saying this about a lot of people. Don't trust what they say, right? This is something that
It's fake news. Don't trust the fake news media.
It's fake news. That's actually pretty good. Because she had said something, and I'm hopefully this is all public, so I'm not showing anything private, but I wouldn't. But
private.
This is from...
of course you would.
No, but this is actually public stuff. This is Instagram. I think it's Instagram. Is it? No, this is Twitter. Never mind. No, this is public. So, without a crystal balls and affiliate commentary, which, by the way, not parody. This is I believe, a highly accurate documentation of Katie's history. Now, I will tell you, Katie asked me when we kind of had this negotiation. She's like, well, one other thing, will you stop supporting these their accounts? And I'm like, no, I can't do that. She's like, well, what do you mean by that? I go, well, first of all, I think they're accurate, and second of all, I don't know who they are. No idea. I don't know if they're he, she, other. I have no idea anything about them. I've talked to them in DMs for quite some time, but I'm like, they're showing that she has a record of this, right? So I'm not going to stop associating with them. It's just not going to happen. And but one of them points out that she said the same thing about somebody else named Fanny. Now, Fanny is a showrunner for a show in production called In Proxy, which has to do with a story of a girl that was manipulated by her mom, by Munchausen by proxy. And I guess she ended up killing her mom is the story. I haven't really looked too much into it, but she's been put away in prison for it. And people think that she should, be helped rather than, gone to prison, because they think that her mom really did, a number on her by this Munchausen by proxy. And so, she had some arrangements and business dealings with Fanny, who has the rights to the story, because the story went to originally, I think, Netflix. They didn't like the Gypsy Rose Blanchard. They didn't like the way that I think Netflix did it, so they gave the rights to Fanny to make a story. And Fanny has reached out to me. I've been talking to her. She seems really nice. She's going to come on to have a story about cyberbullying on this channel next month, and then hopefully later on have something on the Gypsy Rose story, which again I haven't really done a deep dive into, but enough to know that it's something that Katie was involved in. I don't know where her positions are with any of it.
That show will be on some other channel.
Some other channel, hopefully. But the big thing was she was trying to diminish Fanny's integrity by saying, "Don't listen to this woman." Right? She's lying. But every time I've noticed Katie say this, she's never backed it up with anything. It's by fiat. You have to believe me. It just seems like a pattern with her. I'm saying it, ergo it must be true. Now, I've known people that have levied that charge against me, although I provide all the evidence if somebody comes to me in private, like Katie did, right? And I showed her the evidence, which is overwhelming, and she changed her mind. Now, I know people have been laying a narrative, well, Katie was just sick of things and she just wanted to change her position because people were going after her. Bullshit. I don't buy that for a second, because if that was the case, then why would she continue trying to come after me with the sexual harassment charge when all she had to say was this? Oh, I got to show you the other screenshot, but let me say this first. All she had to do was say, "I was uncomfortable with something you said, Steve. However, I shouldn't have elevated to saying that was sexual harassment. I'm sorry." Bam, done. She's off my radar again. I wouldn't have said a word about it. I still didn't know what the fuck she's talking about. No really cared. But I would have satisfied. I've been very congenial with her. I mean, I've been very accepting, right? I mean, I think I have actually, and I hate to say it, I think I've walked the higher road by accepting her apologies, which I think was kind of half-assed in some ways, because she was blaming Kyle for everything. But her goal was to get off my radar, or I thought.
Man, I don't know. This is some of the most ridiculous.
It's bizarre. This whole group, that whole group on that side is bizarre. They make no sense to me. They do nothing that makes sense that's rational.
Guys, it is only Tuesday. It is only Tuesday.
and let me read this, because some people didn't tune in yesterday. By the way, I had a little cough. So apologize. So just yesterday, she says, "I read the lawsuit filed by Steve McRae against Kyle. Months ago, I made statements about him based upon information provided me by Kyle. I believed my friend and accused Steve of defrauding the government. I'm sorry for making those statements. Over the weeks, I sought clarification from Kyle privately, but was always given the same excuse that didn't add up." Which, by the way, again, this is her narrative is totally making sense to me. I see this happening. And it happened to other people. "I believe him when he says he had a lawyer and would pay Steve. There's still no indication that he has a lawyer. None. Zero. So, I mean, if he does, I'll let you guys know. It'll be public. But as of right now, zero evidence said he has a lawyer. But I believe that him when he says he has a lawyer and would pay Steve. Well, clearly that didn't happen. When I pushed him to divide his lawyer information to Steve, Kyle's reasoning made no sense. He's never told anybody that I'm aware of. So people have asked him the name of the lawyer. He says he doesn't have to give it, which is true. But even my lawyer is like, well, if there was a lawyer by now that didn't contact him, that lawyer needs to be disbarred. I mean, that lawyer needs to have serious sanctions.
Like, they're not doing their job.
Right. So, because no lawyer has ever reached out to me and my lawyer yet. And it's already, my lawyer's in North Carolina, so I would have heard something by now. Now, again, still plenty of time, but I think that would have been something's not adding up here. That's for damn sure. So maybe he does. Maybe the lawyer's just inept. I have no idea. But she says, eventually I realized that Kyle had not been truthful for whatever reason. Maybe he didn't have the money. Maybe he was trying to buy time, but I didn't want to be associated with fraud of any kind. This has been 3 months. I realized my gut feelings were right. Now, there's some problems there that I didn't really want to address too much because I just didn't care. But if she had gut feelings on this and she still went along with it,
the thing is that
I don't know.
Okay, my issue with that is that if you had a gut feeling, and kind of went along with your friend, okay, you know what? I can kind of understand. I've done that where I've been like, you know what? I trust this person. They're telling me this, so I'm gonna go along with them. But I don't make other random accusations. That's the part that doesn't make any sense. It wasn't just that, she went along with Kyle and didn't say anything, or she went along with Kyle and said, you know what, I believe Kyle, so I don't know. Or she said, you know what, Steve should get his money because Kyle this. No, she went on to make other allegations.
Yeah.
She came out and said other shit. And it's like,
let me show those other allegations. By the way, super chat.
Yeah, while you're pulling that up. Intellectual for $5 US. Katie just apologized. Katie, just apologize and duck for cover and hope the legal tornado skips you. Steve, you're a sexist harasser the way I am a progressive feminist.
Yeah, and by the way, he definitely not. Okay, so talk about other accusations. Again, this is why when you throw so many things out there, this is what I've said before. When you try to stigmatize somebody with titles and labels and pejoratives and all these things, they lose their ability to really have any effect on the people that really are these things, right? It devalues them.
Yeah.
And so
that's one of the things that we said that was said about the rape apologist accusation.
Same exact thing with EOT.
Good job. You've turned rape apology into a fucking joke.
Sorry, yeah. Same thing with Fiona, and then with rape apology. Same thing with transphobia with EOT. Same thing.
Yep.
Now, Katie Joy said this in June, and again, this is what I'm saying. She has called me everything, devaluing all this shit. She says, after witnessing the fallout, this was only a couple months ago, I will say that the individuals supporting Steve have shown their vile, disgusting, and homophobic beliefs, which also includes me, right? So she's basically calling me a vile, disgusting homophobe.
It's not just calling you. That's you and everybody who follows you.
Everybody that follows me. All the people out there. You guys are all vile, disgusting homophobes. Right? I mean, she has watered down these terms
because
to nothing.
Anything that has to do with non sequitur has anything to do with homophobia at all. Any part in any way.
I think I know any homophobes in my circles at the moment. Why would they be around? They know I would eviscerate them. Right? So if there are any, it must be latent or they haven't said anything, but you guys have been around a long while. I have several thousand followers now, several hundred people watching. Have you guys ever seen anybody come to the live chat and just spew homophobic slurs? No.
The only person that I've seen come into these chats and say any homophobic slurs at any kind of consistent basis has been Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. And as he claims himself that he is not using it as a slur towards gay people, he just uses it as part of his language, and he makes an argument for that, which is a separate argument. Now, should he be doing that? Whatever, not the point, but he's the only one who I've seen do that.
And by the way, I've no longer allowed him.
And he gets blocks and banned. He gets timed out every single time he does it.
But I'm not allowing him around any longer because I do think that I think he needs help. And
Red Eye. I deal with that cunt. Yeah, you do. You just block him every time.
Yeah, Red Eye makes a game out of it.
Yeah. How fast can he kind of Flat Earth Aussie Jesus or Mr. Intelligent Design?
But you see that, I mean, she's saying that all of you are vile, disgusting homophobes, and it's just like, okay. But then she's, I've seen them say sexist, racist, and make threats against anyone that supports him. If these people are the people that support Steve, I'm glad I don't. So now you guys are not just vile, disgusting homophobes. You're now sexist, racist, and you make threats.
Oh, and also that even if Steve was all these things, you're going to support that he should be stolen from. Good. Because those things aren't related at all.
No, not at all.
Neat.
So now, we're vile, we're homophobic, we're sexist, we're racist, and also transphobic. Jimmy called me transphobic. And so, look, if there was any kind of sexual harassment going on, I'm sorry, here's what sucks. But I got to be honest. If anything like that ever happened, her credibility would be zero in these cases.
So here's what happens.
And if I don't want a woman to have to do that if there's actually a legitimate concern, right?
Well, here's the thing. What if Steve was sexually harassing me?
I thought that was a foregone conclusion. Don't I do that all the time, according to some people?
Will my credibility in going against speaking out against Steve be damaged by Katie's rhetoric here?
You know what? Possibly, yeah. I mean, she's saying that because you're associated with me, you're automatically now a sexist, bigoted, homophobe, blah, 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 blah. So you're a bad person that shouldn't be listened to.
I'm a bad person that shouldn't be listened to. And if those, as her claims are, unsubstantiated, if people don't believe her because they're unsubstantiated claims, now if I come out, a lot of people are going to say, well, you need to substantiate your claims. Well, how the fuck? We just think you're full of shit, just like Katie was.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't have the screenshot available. Maybe you can find it, but people will remember that she had said something along the lines of, I was not the only one, right? There's other women. Okay, so people may remember that she said there probably other women that's happened to. Now, not a single woman has ever came forward in any of this. I think what she was doing, she was throwing something out there, hoping everybody would come white knight her because she didn't like me, and she thought, oh, Steve's such an asshole. He has to be sexually harassing somebody. Come to find out, nope. Never happened with anybody. Matter of fact, I say it comically, but there's some truth to it. I've actually had women get upset that I'm not as forward with them as they would like to me. It's just not my style. I'm not very, I used to be a lot more sexually uninhibited. Obviously, people know my history, but I'm not that way now. And so I have changed over the last few years, extensively over the last 6 years, even before I got into YouTube. My whole life changed, and I just am not that much into that kind of stuff. And the women in my life know this. So, for her to try to throw this trial balloon, think I'm like every other guy that she's had to deal with, was just bad idea. Really bad idea. And so no woman ever came forward, right? Now, real quick, there was a person in the community where same thing kind of happened, but he was doing this to dozens of women, and dozens of women came out. Right, so that was if you guys remember Tony Hackenslash from Twitter, who, by the way, I warned people about years ago. Oh, go figure. He actually threatened me and threatened to get me off Twitter, and I knew he was a jackass. But people were like, "Oh no, he's just a nice guy." Blah blah. No, he's not. But he no longer is on Twitter. They ran him off. But dozens of women came forward with him, so people might know that story. But side note, so Katie says this: I won't. He absolutely made a comment about his penis before a stream that made me uncomfortable, and on multiple occasions referenced my appearance and hotness. Okay, oh fuck me. Let me try to.
Where?
Yeah, let me try to. I don't even know where to go with this because it's just I have to process this on. First of all, what the fuck she's talking about, I don't know. But second of all, does she not realize that Katie and GE talked about their penises like all the fucking time? All the time. Off air, on air, it's just that was the thing, right? I mean,
you want to talk about making
eyes.
people uncomfortable? Do you know what was uncomfortable? I got to sit in a pre-show before Non Sequitur went public and blew up about what was going on. I got to sit in a pre-show with Boole and Kyle and Steve waiting for the guests. You want to talk about making someone fucking uncomfortable? Well, that was the most awkward silence I think I have heard in my entire life.
Well, because Kyle, Boole, and I knew that.
Used to scream and throw shit.
I mean, Boole and I we were trying to talk to Kyle forever, right? I mean, this was something I've told people.
I was just like,
this was something that was going on for quite a while behind the scenes.
Are you gonna say something? I almost said something. I was just like,
But if this was a pre-show, right? Then there's a couple things I have questions. One, why didn't Bull or Kyle say anything? They never did, right? Because I mean, I'm sure they're going to sit around and let me harass Katie if that was the case, right? I mean,
oh well,
clearly
yeah,
that's what Bull would do, right?
With the amount that Kyle, GE, and KC have been on your ass about every single fucking thing, mundane or not, you really think they wouldn't have fucking jumped all over that shit?
That would have been gold to them.
Even besides them, Bull has the most integrity about anybody I have ever met. Bull
to a fault, maybe.
Exactly. Bull, if that actually happened and Katie decided to say something publicly, Bull would have been all over your ass. He would have been like, "What the fuck, Steve? Yeah, that was really inappropriate. You need to apologize."
Right, and
you know what you would have done? Fucking apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I know when people have crossed the line. I mean, I'm not against apologizing. This the other day, one of the commentary account had made a really good point on something, and I was like, you know what, I acknowledged it. I was like, you know what, fair enough, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm fine with apologizing to people. This narrative that I don't apologize is bullshit. What it is I don't apologize when I'm not wrong. Concept.
I can't find the. All
right, fair enough. People remember it, so it's not really that big a deal. I mean, it's you can't believe that. That's trivial.
Check out the without any crystal balls commentary account.
It's there somewhere. She literally said other women, I'm sure experienced this and they'll come forward, kind of thing. And yeah, no woman ever came forward.
I'll link their Twitter.
But here's the thing. Now, I have to look at everything from every angle. So let's just suppose, arguendo, that I made some kind of penis reference. Okay, it's plausible. I mean, I have done this before. We all have made comments because that's the kind of joking that we do.
You mean people make sex jokes?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That hasn't been happening since the beginning of time.
So let's assume that is the case. First, and by the way, do I even have the screenshot? Do you have the screenshot where I actually explained to her the difference between feeling uncomfortable and sexual harassment?
Yeah, I had it pulled up just a second ago.
Okay. So I explained to her, look, if you are uncomfortable, that's one thing. That does not give rise to a charge of sexual harassment. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. And again, I'm giving her benefit of doubt. Something happened. I just don't know what, when, why. Nobody else seems to know either. But let's assume that there was something. Why would she raise that to sexual harassment? That is something that she's done in order to spin a narrative to make her to be the victim. And I don't understand why. Beyond, she wants people to go, oh my God, you're the victim. Look what this mean person did to you. He's such a bad person. That's the only reason why I see her doing it.
Here you go.
All right, let me. I forgot how to do this now.
We did it yesterday.
I know. I don't remember. Oh, I got to start screen sharing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so let me stop screen sharing. Okay, can they? No. Oh, I got it. I know what to do. But I got to blow it up because people see it.
I believe in you. I believe in Steve. I believe.
Is that too small? And that's not a penis joke, by the way. Okay, so don't go there.
In Steve.
Can people read this? Can you read it? It doesn't seem to want me to blow it up.
I'm gonna have to switch to be able to. Yeah, that should be.
Okay. All right. So it's I said, there's a huge difference between Katie being there's a huge difference between. God damn, this is hard for me to read.
So hold on, I'll do it.
I really need to get those lenses.
Yeah, she backpedals, right? So
start from the beginning.
She says no. Okay, so Steve says I don't think Katie was being purposefully malicious, and she did believe her friend. However, her 100% unwarranted and completely unsubstantiated claims of me sexually harassing her were malicious, which I did note she didn't address in her video. That you cannot blame on Kyle at Katie. Those were your allegations which had nothing to do with Kyle, correct? No, and then Katie responds with, nope, but I am not Nope, I'm assuming it has nothing to do with Kyle. So she's agreeing, is how I'm interpreting this. but I'm not apologizing for saying you made a statement that made me uncomfortable because that is my truth.
Subjective truth.
If you want
okay.
to discuss privately, that's fine. Okay, so you're not apologizing for saying that you made her uncomfortable. Nobody's asking you to apologize for that. That's not what you said. So she's walking that back, where Steve explains there's a huge difference, Katie, between 1, Steve made me uncomfortable, and 2, Steve sexually harassed me. Massive difference. You accuse me of a crime. Steve, my DM is open. I'm not discussing this, and if you keep tagging me on this topic, I'm going back to blocking. Okay, that's not how Twitter works. You need to mute the conversation, because if people keep talking in this, you are going to get notifications no matter what, and it's not the person necessarily continuing to have that conversation. That's not how, and I'm tempted to pull a quote out of Reds. That's not how Twitter works, you slanderous bitch!
I'm never going to forget Red's statement on that's not how Twitter works.
It's a good one. The only reason I'm willing to still throw slander in there is because she's still doing it. So here's the thing. She made a public statement saying that Steve sexually harassed her. Now she's walking it back and saying she made her that you made her uncomfortable, and she's not apologizing for saying that when that's not what she said. And now she's saying, well, I'm not going to talk about it publicly, when she brought it the fuck up.
Yeah, and this is why I'm like, wait a minute.
And now
I don't want. Well, I don't want to.
And now is continuing to talk about it publicly.
Well, I said others can DM you, right? And I said, let them know if they find. Let me know what they find. I'm totally fine with it, and let them determine if I'm owed an apology. Totally cool with that. And she says, stop the rhetoric. This is not rhetoric. God damn it. This really kind of like I was like, do you understand? This is not rhetoric. This is an actual counter argument to your shit, right? Period. I'm not talking to anyone else about this than you, period. By the way, she did. She talked to numerous people about it in private. I know this because they came to me and said, I talked to Katie on this. She blocked me after she didn't convince me kind of thing. I had a number of people come to me and tell me that she did talk to them in private. Now,
thou dost protest too much about rhetoric.
I was not going to go to her in private in a DM, and there's reasons for that. One, if it's about sexual harassment, I want witnesses. I'm sorry. I mean, she accused me in public, right? I want people to judge this because this was her allegations.
Yep.
And now people can see, though, if you gave her every single sliver of benefit of the doubt on this, everything that you just gave her, the most you can get was, I made some comment that made her uncomfortable. I don't see how anybody in their rational mind could make that turn into, I sexually harassed her. Please. I mean,
and then
am I missing something here? Please help me out here because I am fucking at a loss, to be honest with you.
I mean, she also goes back to claiming it was that you were harassing her. Says, as she says, I felt harassed and very inappropriate comments were made. Was it a crime? No.
Well, and that probably is for legal,
Katie.
because she's probably covering her ass for legal reasons. Because I was going to sue her for slander. This is, I don't want to, this is, it was the VA thing I was more concerned about. But this right here, nobody's going to take her seriously, and I get that. So I'm not going to take a litigation for it. But here's the thing.
Katie.
This is why she fucked up. I was willing to take her off my radar and go, okay, you know what? Nobody's going to believe her anyways. I don't really care. It's just Katie's being Katie. God damn it, Tom Jump.
Yeah.
I mean, his big book of epistemology 101. I guess there's one page that actually has some value to it. But it just wasn't wasn't something I was willing to put my effort in.
He ripped off of Jack Sparrow. Don't worry about it if that makes you feel better.
You
can always trust dishonest people to be dishonest. Honestly. It's the honest ones you've got to look out for, because you never know when they're going to do something stupid.
That was from
Captain Jack Sparrow, first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that.
Godless Scummer for £5 says, I'm a billionaire who leads a secret double life as a crime-fighting superhero. # this is my truth. Good on you.
But anyways, in a nutshell, people can see now that she's had to spin something, I think, because again, when she first threw this out there, all it was I don't have the screenshot for this. Somebody may, again, Unirock time. This is just my recollection. I love her Unirock way of doing that because again, I cannot have everything available. I don't have this available.
It's impossible to have.
Too much shit.
I've been tracking shit, and it's impossible to get everything.
But I know somebody probably, or I don't should say I know. I believe very strongly somebody captured this. But at some point during some hangout, and I think it was during either the Resurrection hangout or one before that, one of those. She threw out there in a live chat thing because I remember seeing it. Something to the fact that she said Steve sexually harassed me. And then when people called her out on it, she's like talking about, well, he said something to somebody else. I was uncomfortable by it, blah, blah, which I think that's where Without a Crystal Ball has interpreted it to be with Mercedes Carrera. And then it turned into this whole thing pre-show. But again, she was off my radar, right? All she had to do was say, Steve, you made me feel uncomfortable, but I apologize for calling it sexual harassment. I probably would have said, look, I don't know what you're referring to, but if it made you uncomfortable, I'm sorry. Moving on, right? I mean, that, whatever. It's just not something that I really want to invest my time with because I already know nobody outside her little fan club takes Katie seriously. And she does insulate her fan club. I've talked to people, like I said, that have known her for her whole life. I've got involved in this other group that have just been telling me all these stories about her. And this is what she does. I guess she's wanted to be famous all her life. She loves the attention, loves the adoration. And I think now that she's got a little popularity because she had a video.
Steve, you might want to pause and restart for a second because the stream started buffering.
That shouldn't be on my end.
It's not on our end anymore. It was YouTube.
Okay.
So it just did a hiccup. So you might just want to step back by like about 45 seconds maybe.
All right. Unirock time. We had a YouTube hiccup. Yeah, that wasn't on my end. Everything looks perfect here. So I gotta think where I went back to.
Who knows what it was? Maybe it was Steve. Maybe it was
yeah, but I just gotta think where my train of thought was. You know me, I'm very linear. Yeah. But okay. So where was I at? Somebody help me.
You're saying Unirock about the way she had said in a live chat that you're not sure where that screenshot is, but you're pretty sure it still exists by your recollection that she had a screenshot that said she sexually harassed you, and that had she handled this properly, it essentially would have been like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have gone that far in saying that, and you would have taken her off your radar, and you would have said, you know what, no problem, I don't know what you're referring to, but I apologize if I made you uncomfortable.
She's like a live recorder. Oh my god.
You mean I actually listen and pay attention? Like a proper co-host?
I've never had a woman listen to me.
Oh,
that's not sexist. Sorry. Usually, yeah, no, actually, they're usually, fully intent on every word I say. But that's okay. So you're right. And if she would, here's what I don't understand. She and I were talking in DMs, right? Why do I need to go back to her and ask her for this? If we were already in DMs, she could have at any time continued and say, okay, Steve, this is why I was uncomfortable. I want to talk to you about this, blah, blah, blah. She never did that. Matter of fact, after the last tweet you saw, I'm not going to talk about this with anybody, period. I guess she blocked me. I stopped talking to her because I didn't want her blocked because I wanted to at least have communication, but whatever.
Giving her the potential benefit of the doubt there and saying that I don't want to hear anything more on this thread or I'll block you, it is making you responsible for people, is punishing you for other people continuing to talk on the thread. That's why I said that's not how Twitter works. You have to mute the conversation in that case. Blocking Steve does nothing for you because he's not responsible for people to continuing to have the conversation with you.
Is there anybody, and you guys don't have to speak up if you don't want to, but is there anybody in the live chat that had messaged her privately that had tried to ask her about this? Because I have had numerous people do this, and they've all told me they blocked now. So, it's shocking. But I don't know if they're watching this morning, so probably not. But if you're one of those people, then at least you can validate that. But anyways, this is everything in a nutshell. This has gone a lot longer than I thought it was going to go. Oh my God, we're at an hour. But does anybody have any questions on this?
Does. Oh, fuck. I did see a question that I meant to take a note of and didn't because I suck. Hold on.
But I like
Let me find it.
I like the fact that, she's just telling people, don't believe Steve. 28 hours ago, she even made a message. Steve's mad at me. Don't believe him. Then everything's like, oh, what? I was wrong. Steve was right. Go shot.
So does that mean we should not believe Katie anytime she says something about somebody when she's upset about it?
Oh, I don't.
Well, I just mean in general. Like, is that how she wants to be treated?
Would appear so.
Because that means we should all just stop.
Oh, I know where my train of thought was going. And you're right.
There you go.
You caught up to speed, but there was one thing I was going to go with.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I couldn't predict where you were going.
She had a video that had like 500,000 views or something like that. And it was because there was some released audio with the girl Amber from 16 and Pregnant, and I guess she got some exclusive interview or audio. I didn't listen to it, and I don't give a shit about that show. No offense. I know there's some people out there that this is a big deal to them. I guess she had made an exclusive saying that Amber was going to be fired by MTV and Viacom, and there's a big kerfluffle about that. And come to find out, Amber wasn't fired. She got bad information. She tried blaming it on somebody else, but she already had the video monetized. She made a lot of money by a lie, is I guess the accusation, right? Because they're like, hey, you had a video that had all these views. You made a butt ton of money off of it. And it was a lie. It was misinformation that nobody ever told you this. You know, you just made it up hoping that it would be the case. I think they think that there's some stuff that went down and she was basically trying to predict the future, that she would be fired. And she messed up. And so people have been calling her out on this. Yeah, a journalist. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with Katie as far as bad journalism. This happened to be the case that she was wrong about this. Well, anyways, this attracted a whole bunch of people to her channel, like 10,000 more people. Her channel blew up. She's like 27,000 subs now. She's trying to isolate her new followers from all of this because a lot of them are going, she's doing
the exact same thing Jimmy does, but Jimmy's actually decent at keeping his goddamn head in the ground.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's
better than she is.
Better than she.
Comparatively.
But they're both doing the same thing. They're isolating their audience from the fact they've been duplicitous, dishonest, fraudulent people. I mean, there's been accusations of Katie having a GoFundMe that was fraudulent. That was with her son that she said was dying. Although her son is very sick, and I never want to bring a kid into any of this stuff. And I feel very sorry for the child. There is some things to be said that she might have had a fraudulent GoFundMe that she's trying to cover up. Now, again, this is an accusation. I understand that. People want more data on it. I will dive into it more at another time. I am in contact with people that know much more about it than I do. But it does show a pattern, right? That her trying to cover up, even asking questions about it, right? Well, can we ask some questions about the GoFundMe? But she's like, you cannot ask me questions about anything. I'm a woman. Whatever I tell you is the gospel. And so she's trying to insulate her newfound audience because the audience are like, oh, we're so sorry this has been happening to you. You know, we just discovered your channel and you seem so sweet and so, honest. And everybody else is going, what? What?
Who? Where? Wait, bish, where?
New Katie, who dis?
New Katie, who dis?
Because
new group of people who dis.
She deletes every comment that explains to people, no, this is bullshit. Katie is a manipulative person who's just looking for attention that has lied about people multiple times and does not get her facts straight. She does not do her due diligence.
Somebody in the chat made two things I want to hit on from the chat. Loads of comments in her apology video. They put it in quotes. Who had no clue who you or Kyle were. Same thing's happening to Jimmy.
Yeah. Who's Steve?
Who's Steve? Who's this Kyle guy? What's going on? The other half is somebody had said Katie did some good work on Jilly Juice character and some other topics surrounding
that's true, though.
natural childbirth.
That's true.
And outside of that, she's just a gossip rag.
That's true.
Now, that's true. Here's the thing. Did she?
I thought, low hanging fruit, but yeah.
If we were to go back and we were to actually dissect and pull what she had said, what had happened with Jillian, and then see see somebody else's work on, if somebody else were to redo essentially Katie's work on Jillian, how good would Katie's work actually be?
By the way, can somebody remind me of that girl's name? That's true.
That's true. I don't know.
I don't remember her name.
I don't know.
Is it Laura?
I have no idea.
Somebody in the live chat has to know.
Is it Laurel or Yanni? I don't know.
it's Laura. No, it's Yanni. I'm sorry.
Yanni.
It is Yanni. All you Laurel people are wrong. And it's a blue-white dress.
Blue-white dress, not a yellow-black dress.
You guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. How the hell you heard Laurel? Well, actually, one of the reasons is I'm old. I have lost my high-pitched hearing, especially because I was in the military and I had to wear ear piercers forever because I was around turbines and large machinery. Sure, it has some effect, and as you get older, you lose your high-end hearing. This is why you hear Yanni vice Laurel, but people have no idea what we're talking about, probably. But does anybody find her? Did we get her name? No.
An example of the right conclusion for the wrong reasons.
Nobody remembers. Yeah. Nobody knows this chick's name. I mean, we have to call Ben up right now. Call Ben from Drunken Peasants.
Yeah, all right, fine. I'll send him a message right the hell now.
Yeah, ask him
right now. I will ask him.
Yeah, he'll respond to you on the fly. He takes about 24 hours to get back to me.
Hey, you guys, what? Hey.
Yeah, I was on the Geek Room too. That's true.
The name of that hands in the air.
And by the way, she's doing this because she's channeling the spirits and people and higher dimensional beings talking to her. I guess it's true. As her mom just sits there and just spews stuff, she'll sit there and go, "That's true."
I don't know. I sent a message. I don't know if I'll get an answer. We'll have to wait and see.
Let's just
sit here for another half an hour and make this a 2-hour show. Anyway.
We went from sexual harassment to wondering who's saying that's true.
It's true.
All right, so we got any questions from the audience?
Congratulations, Katie. You have made sexual harassment a joke.
Yeah, bravo, Katie. Bravo, fucking oh. And you know, there's something to be said from that. People.
Is that what they're called? The Angel Initiative?
Is that what it is?
If that's what they're, hold on, I'll look it up. I will look it up right now. I'll see if this is it.
All right, check into that. This is why I have her for research. But yeah, you're very much right on that, and it's sad that these things have become a joke. And by the way, we all joke on things, and I believe very strongly that dark humor is a coping mechanism. So when people joke about rape, they joke about sexual things, it is a coping mechanism. I understand that, right? But when you actually make these words into having so devalued non-meaning to them because they're just not explaining anything along, they're not describing anything along, they're watered down, that they lose all actual sting about the people that are transphobic, homophobic, bigoted, sexist, and are committing sexual harassment. All that's doing is making victims not want to come forward. All it's doing is making it harder for people to defend themselves against false accusations, which do happen. You know, people got after me for the News Now Houston thing. Perfect example of somebody who is like this, who makes these false accusations, like Katie. These things do exist, right? So Katie is the one, like EOT, making it more difficult for people.
Yeah, it's one thing to be joking about a coping mechanism. It's another thing to be Lynn and Jamie McDonald.
Jamie, thank you. McGonigal. Yeah, the Angelic Initiative. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. It's one thing to make a joke to help cope. It's another thing to make jokes to help alleviate and to bring more light to what is otherwise a very serious topic. It's another thing to try to bully and berate people who are not these things to the point that it's just funny. Yesterday, and for the past 2 weeks, everybody's been getting called a rape apologist. A couple months ago, everybody was getting called transphobic. A couple months before that, everybody was getting called homophobic.
And before that was Nazi.
And it was Nazis. So if you do this, it's now we're all making tallies of being like, well, which one are you? I got bingo. Like, this is a fun.
Cheshire got called a rape apologist, for God's sake. Sarah Michelle got called transphobic. This is just people have. I swear to God, but the world has lost its collective mind. It just has.
In my mind, somebody's asking me. In your opinion, what does more damage, false claims or jokes in poor taste? False claims.
False claims by far. I mean, they're on totally.
I kind of
totally different things.
Personally, I segregate comedy.
Yeah.
I segregate comedy into its own area, specifically because I don't think it's fair or reasonable to call somebody a racist or call somebody homophobic because a joke didn't land.
Yeah.
Because a joke wasn't funny. There has to be a pattern of behavior there, and telling jokes as a comedian or an aspiring comedian, or trying to if you're attempting to tell a joke and that is within what you're attempting to do, I don't think it's fair to call you racist because you're attempting to tell a joke and it fails. Now, if you're hanging out with your buddies and you're all a bunch of racist assholes already, and you're telling racist jokes, you're racist for other reasons.
Yeah, there's a distinction to be made there, is there not?
There's context.
Oh, the C word.
Oh.
Yeah, by the way, we got to make a shirt on that, the C word. Context, you know. We're going to figure out something with that because people do not understand context. Matter of fact, it's just going back to yesterday's show, you know, we had Gary, who is supposedly a literary critic or textual critic, not understand context. I mean, how does a literary critic or textual critic not understand the concept of context? This to me is unheard of. This is like a physicist not understanding something like inertia. It's just so bizarre. Are you wearing Red's dress? But oh no, you're not. I thought you were wearing the dress you showed yesterday for a second. It looked red. I would have an optical illusion. It looked red. Weird.
It's black and white. I think Steve's been lying to us about it being Yanni and Laurel and blue and white.
It's Yanni. I've never heard Laurel. Whatever. You people, you don't know what you're talking about. Your hearing needs to be checked. Mine's really bad. There was also one other place, and I'm trying to find it, but I don't think I can right off the bat. But if you guys saw it, there was some place where Katie actually went so far to say that I'm full anti-SJW and that I'm alt-right. Yeah. I'm trying to find it, so I apologize. I don't have that for the record. But I know that the commentary account without a crystal ball, please excuse me. It's, by the way, it is not parody.
They are comedy. Comedy?
Yeah, we see how we do. We all misspeak, right? And when people pick up on misspeaks.
It's a commentary account.
It's a commentary account.
Account.
When you do 1,000 shows and 1,000 videos, you're always prone to misspeaking, so I apologize. But it is definitely a commentary account to be taken very seriously. And she has this, or he has it, because again, I don't know. I'm misgendering probably. But Katie literally did call me alt-right, and I'm like, this is news to me. I mean, I even said the other day, if you want to know my politics, it's left sucks, right sucks, alt-right really sucks, and I don't know what the fuck alt-left is, but they probably suck anyways.
Account. So for anybody who wants to double check, it is
follow them.
A commentary account. It's right there. If you want to know anything that's gone on with Katie, go to that account. They've got everything. Like, you think I'm good? This is what would happen if I was looking at one person.
Oh, by the way, this is funny. Somebody says, Steve's not alt-right. He's usually just right. You could even say correct. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Oh, somebody said sometimes it's not that they don't understand context. Sometimes it's even deliberately ignored.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's without question.
Hail the Orange Emperor, build the wall out of Cheetos. Fake news.
Oh, I found it. I did find it. Yay.
Yay.
I do like to have things documented. Like, here's the thing, though. I think that I've earned enough credibility that people will believe me, or at least give me the benefit of the doubt, that are watchers of mine. And so I appreciate that. I think that's a responsibility that I have to maintain that high standard of ethics. I know Unirock's the same way. I know Nick Suter from In Time's the same way. Cheshire, not so much. She has questionable ethics, but I love her anyways. You cheerleader goblin cow, you. But I appreciate the fact that people that do trust me and give me the benefit of the doubt. However, I still like to show things. So here you go. Katie says, the way they talk about SJW, you would think that these guys were in the alt-right. I don't get it. I had the feeling for a while he might be very conservative, but I honestly didn't watch since he watched when he was on because of the interactions I had with him privately. Which, by the way, again, I don't have it available, but it's on the commentary account of her going, Steve's really intelligent and has a lot to offer, blah, 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 and just praising me. And I'm like, this is bullshit. But yeah, so I guess that all you people that come on my channel are anti-SJW and alt-right. There you go. So
anti-SJW, alt-right, homophobic,
Nazi running tally.
Supporters. I don't know.
They were all called Nazis at one time. That was EOT and Godless Cranium called you guys all Nazis.
Yeah, we're forgetting one very important thing. This is Katie's truth, and that should be respected.
We should value her subjective truth that has no correspondence to reality whatsoever. People usually call that delusional or hallucinogenic. Or hallucinating.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I will absolutely do that.
What are they? Oh, you're doing the Flaming Cheetos thing?
I will absolutely stomp on flaming Cheetos.
Hey, I don't judge. I don't judge, man. So people may not aware, Cheshire was on Drunken Peasants the other night, and I guess there was some bidding that she would basically go barefoot, stomp on a bunch of Cheetos, put them in a powder, and send that powder to somebody. And I guess now they're paying extra if it's flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah, there we go.
Who am I to judge?
Listen, it's always good to have options. You gotta let people be able to make choices about what they want.
I had somebody defriend me because they had heard us talk about you saying that you were going to have some risque photographs if somebody met something for a GoFundMe. And I'm like, that's your moral
They're not
outrage?
risque. It's a bikini shoot.
And I'm like, that's your moral outrage? Okay. Now, they've kind of apologized a little bit since then. They haven't refriended me, but they didn't they did unblock me, but I'm not going to say what it was.
Oh, so they apologized to you.
Well, it's sort of, kind of. I mean,
the men have apologized about their treatment of the woman. Oh.
but they did unblock me, but it was just bizarre because I white knighted you. But I was like, wait a minute, Cheshire can't do what she wants for their own body. Isn't that the whole point of feminism?
You didn't white knight me because it wouldn't have mattered if it was me or not. The argument was just stupid and bad.
Yeah, and my counter argument wasn't stupid as bad. My counter argument was very simple. A woman can do what the fuck she wants with their own body if she wants.
That's the thing.
I don't give
like,
whatever.
oh well, yeah, of course she can do what she wants. Oh, so thanks for your permission that I can do that, and
Yeah.
also you're just gonna be a judgy asshole that I choose to do it.
Hey,
okay.
hey, god damn it! I am officially the token cis white male now, thanks to Sarah Michelle. So I get to judge what's allowed and what's not in that regard, and I'm giving you my token cis white male seal of approval that you can do whatever you want. There you go. You have my approval.
Also, nerdy, yeah, you could absolutely pay me to do things as long as you give me enough money. I've got.
She's not even kidding. She can't be bought, but she could be rented for a while. She does commissions and it's knock yourself out. I mean,
my DMs are open. Women can't dress how they want.
How do you think I met her on DM and Twitter?
Apparently, tranny cow goblins don't have rights? ? Trash goblin bathwater sounds pricey.
Trash goblin bathwater. That, you know what? You could do
Actually, that was discussed on the stream for Sean too. Whose bathwater do you think would be worse, my trash goblin bathwater, or Reds's?
But you could use but see, remember the Garbage Pail Kids? Remember when Cabbage Patch Kids came out?
Yeah,
Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes.
You could be the Garbage Pail Kid version of all this shit.
Yeah.
You could be famous. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna roll around instead of having like that nice, clean, sexy water. I'm just gonna like roll around in the mud and just. I just dive into a dumpster, got a banana peel on my head, sitting in the bath, still got the banana peel on my head.
I'm telling you, this is gold. You are going to be rich beyond your imagination one day. Josiah, $2, just some money. Thank you, Josiah.
Thank you.
By the way, from yesterday's stream, people that have given Cheshire money, that has been taken care of.
Yep, I will confirm that has been taken care of. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't make her wait till like it does no. Yeah, I don't have to make her wait 104 days.
Foul bachelor frog.
Yeah. But anybody's asked me, by the way, yeah, to give you guys, I have everything that supposedly has been said by someone else that I will not mention. I have no evidence any of that happened. No evidence that anything's been filed. No evidence that they have a lawyer. Nothing. So. I think, here's the thing. I'm convinced beyond all doubt there's a lot of stupid people, like a dozen people that are just absolutely morbidly. I'm mortified that they're morbidly this stupid. How about that? I trip over words. People know this. But I do believe that there's nothing that's ever going to convince them. They are just fundamentally dumb. And so they're going to believe whatever they're told. I mean, hook, line, and sinker, whatever narrative they get spun for them.
Yeah, I will specify because somebody said they were worried about my dog leaving my dog for 24 hours. First off, my dog is not kenneled, and that is not something that I do. That's just something that I can do, and he would be fine in a situation where that was necessary. I just wanted to clarify because I mentioned the other day that I didn't understand why people were like, "Oh, I can't leave my dog for 3 hours." It's like, what the fuck? You can't? What are you talking about?
I never call Cheshire a gutter goth suicide girl, but I like it. I'll do it. You gutter goth suicide girl.
Okay, I like that one, and I think we need to get like suggestions for what like a cosplay outfit would be.
I like suicide girls. Am I a bad man for that? I actually find suicide girls attractive. It's weird because I'm just people want to think this. But I actually, some girls that are very tattooed and look very hard edged and bikey type chick, like a bikers, I actually like. I don't know why. I shouldn't, because I'm just the antithesis of that. I don't have a tattoo at all. Never thought about getting a tattoo, except for if I ever did, it would be something like my daughter's name or like an atomic symbol. But other than that, I just never had a tattoo. But I find suicide girls, alt girls, piercings, and I think it's, if it's done artistically, I find it to be very aesthetically pleasing. But it has to be done, like the suicide girls. They have brilliant artwork, the illustrations. Yeah. So I have to be able to like the artwork, right? It's not just one of my exes had, all my exes had tattoos. I think I've only got
the one.
But she had horrible tattoos.
I don't have money to get more.
You have what?
I'm poor. I don't have.
Is it a money situation for tattoos?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll get your name tattooed on you.
Planet, I'd probably have like a big ass back.
Get my name tattooed on you. Like I had one ex want to get my name tattooed her in Chinese, and I talked her out of it. Kind of wish I had it now, but whatever. I don't get the name thing. It's like I would have had like tattoos, like all these different names, like Marie crossed out, Jill crossed out, Joanne crossed out.
I do want to get this one, the one that's here. I want this one extended up and up to the shoulder a little bit, but I wasn't thinking about a full sleeve. A full sleeve might be pretty cool though. I don't know.
I want to get one that says, I loved Jill for 5 years. Cross it out. I love Jill forever. Crossed out 5 years. There you go. How about that?
Godless Scummer says, Katie to appear on Kyle's new channel. Special episode about how to cook up a story. NA also for $666 says, "Cause Cheshire."
Yay!
I try to do the emojis.
Well, and by the way, the narrative now is that Katie wanted to move on and she just wanted to not have any issues, which obviously is complete bullshit because she wouldn't give up on the sexual harassment thing. So I think she does like the attention. So any narrative that she just didn't like people going after her or talking about this is completely wrong.
She could have just not answered you.
What do you mean?
Well, you said something on Twitter, right, about that, oh, okay, I accept this apology, however, this, and this. She could have not answered. And
just left it?
Yeah, just left it hanging.
Well, that would have been beneficial to her, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had to do the ethical thing and say, I have to take her off my radar because she gave me what I asked for. I asked for an apology, even though it was half of what I wanted, but it was still, I'm not going to be one of those people that is hypocritical. When people offer an apology, I try to take it in earnest, right? And so I took her apology, but the consideration that I had was that in consideration for taking my apology or giving my apology, I had to take her off my radar, right? That was the deal. And I abided by that, right? I even had people going to me, Steve, she's wrong on all this other stuff. You know that she's like this is the pattern. She's going to use this to her advantage. She's going to go on her channel and play the victim. I knew all this was to be the case. I even told them, you're absolutely right. She is going to do this. I'm aware of this. She's going to use it to her advantage and probably be, raised up in the eyes of her, fan base. Yeah, because, look at Katie. She admitted she was wrong, blah, blah.
Her views of tanks since she talked about this.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's discuss that in a second. Let's go. Hang on. So I'm going to get back to that. I wanted to ask about that, but I knew that it would help her out, but it was also going to help me out. So it was one of those trade-offs. But now she violated this by her post. She's back on my radar. I'm happy as hell because I really didn't want to take her off my radar. I know I had other things to do, but now I can go after her for all the bullshit that she does, just like dozens and dozens of other people go after Katie for what she does, and she plays the victim. This is not, again, something where people are bullying her or harassing her. There are legitimate, honest-to-God concerns for years and years and years of her doing this. I found out that when she first started her blog, most of her stories were made up and from other people. So, I mean, we'll get into that one day when we do a more bigger call out on Katie from her history with certain people, which is going to happen now that she's back on my radar. People will see this. But we have 350 people watching. They know by now probably that this is how Katie is, and that Katie is insulating her fans. So when she says this to people on Twitter, I'm not asking you to be an activist. I'm not asking you to white knight. I'm not asking you to bully her in any way. Again, I find anybody harassing or bullying because people said, Steve asked people to bully people. No, I never have. In fact, if you bully people or harass them, I don't want you around. I will have words with you. But if she says things to other people, You damn right you have a right to tell that person, Katie's full of shit. Here's all the evidence. This is what like the commentary accounts do. And I find nothing wrong with that. That's not harassment. That is, let's get the facts straight, and her fans and her Twitter people need to know what she's really like. And so I'm going to be actively doing that with the commentary accounts and other people I wasn't going to be before. She had actually asked me, will you stop supporting the commentary accounts? And I'm like, no. And I think that's what pissed her off. I think that's why she was like, well, fuck this then. Her goal was to get me to just denounce, the commentary accounts and the people, proving to people that she's been wrong all this time about things. And I wasn't going to do that. But back to what you said.
That's not reasonable. She shouldn't. That's almost a threat in her stance, because she's saying, well, if you don't do this, then I'm not going to do this, and she's essentially.
She never threatened. No, but she didn't threaten me. But it was one of those things that I looking back, that was where I think she said to herself, well, I'm going to rescind all this then, because I think her goal was to get me to be on her side to denounce the commentary counts. Right.
Yeah, to try and get more out of it.
Right.
Like, maybe it's not a threat, and it's overplaying her hand rather, because she still did do the apology.
Right.
So I'll take that bet.
All right. So what's been happening with her channel?
Share my screen real quick.
Okay. Let's see.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, I got it. There we go.
So check this out.
I got to magnify this. This is going to be really small if I don't.
7K views, 8.8K views, 263K views, 409K views, 76K views, 10K views, 25K views, 12K, 15.
Hang on, let me blow this up. Can you go high? Oh, that's not your end. God damn it, I'm an idiot. You have to scroll up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scroll up on my end. This is your screenshot. Can you scroll up to a little bit more?
Yeah.
Thank you. There we go.
I'm at the top now.
See, she blew up. She has 28,000 subs now. She had 200 when she got to the community. And by the way, I have apologized for this, and I apologize in the Facebook group that I'm in now, which has a lot of backstory with her, that they know it was mostly because she went on a Non Sequitur show that she got her start, basically, to really excel her on YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
And she's acknowledged this in a video. However, she had a video that I can't find now. I wonder if she deleted it. But she talks about this. But this came from this whole Amber thing, from what I understand. But okay, so what's her views now?
Okay, so she was sitting at about 26, 23, around the 20 mark.
Okay, and this is with the Amber thing. Like I said, this is from 16 and pregnant.
Yeah,
okay.
outside of down here where she had a huge boost, which is the Amber stuff.
Yeah.
But if you look here, here's where Non Sequitur started again. 8.3, 5, 4, 8, 17, but it's Amber again. 1.3.
Yeah, people are interested in the Amber
2 hours
thing.
ago, so.
Yeah, people are really interested in that. I'm not. No offense to that Amber crowd. I guess it's a really huge fan base.
But she's hitting double digits consistently, and then as soon as she started talking about Non Sequitur, not anymore.
Well, and people have been pointing out in comments that, okay, Katie, you said if we don't insult you, we can ask questions. And people have seen those even things get deleted. Even her fans have to notice that. Matter of fact, I will, if I have them, I'll show you 2 of them that I know that got deleted, because I screen captured them thinking they were going to get deleted. And guess what? They got deleted. And they weren't bad. They really weren't.
Exploratory Minds Project, £5 for the good vibes and future progress, smiley face. Thank you.
The problem is I don't know where I put these.
And Nikki's right. Don't forget to share and like and sub and bell notification and buy a smug.
Yeah, by the way, like I said, I really appreciate people have been sharing these videos. If you share the video, if you share that URL, and especially if I don't know if it has to be through YouTube's way when you hit share and then you post it, or if or it just tracks the URL in general. I don't know how it works. It could be one or the other. I think it doesn't matter. But if you go to the share in the YouTube video and you click on it, it brings up all these other options. If you share them, that algorithm starts tracking that. And so
that's how I always did it.
And so the more you share it, the more it gets promoted. So if you really want to help this channel out with 359 people watching, take 3 seconds, hit share, put it on your Twitter, and do that every time we have a stream.
Twitter,
that's how
Facebook, Tumblr, whatever the hell you.
The more you do it, the more the algorithm picks it up.
Yep.
So I appreciate that. That
you can even You can actually even send it to somebody else directly through any of those options as well. So if you wanted to send it to your friend, if you send it that way, apparently it's more.
I think it's tracked. I'm not positive.
Who knows?
Yeah.
YouTube's not really very forthcoming with the way their shit works. Which I kind
Shocking,
of understand
right?
to a degree. Well, I kind of like with the way the algorithm works. I kind of get that to a degree because they don't want people to take advantage of the algorithm. But at the same time, why not?
Well, I do know it tracks it through the YouTube page. So the algorithm, I'm pretty damn sure, tracks it that way. That just I've heard that and that makes sense. But like I said, I need people to actually do it. I know people have said they do it, but usually if you have 360 people watching, it's probably 1% that's actually going to do it, which is 3.5 or 3.6. I'm sorry. Ozzy Globehead, $50. Thank you, Ozzy Globehead, because I can. Oh, Ozzy, I got to get you drunk. You got to go have drinks.
Yes, do it.
I would go to Australia, but that's just it's. I could barely make it 4 hours from here. I can't.
I think we've basically.
And I got other friends in Australia that I'd love to go visit. I really would.
I think we've wrapped up everything about Katie. I think for the most part,
yeah.
at least for today. Are there any questions? Make sure you at me or Steve. We'll probably hang out for like another couple minutes.
Yeah. I just wish I could find this. I know I saved it, but I can't find it at the moment. But anyways, there's some comments where people were just asking her stuff and they got deleted. So big shocker if you don't trust. What do
you mean?
You're not going to trust me on this. Whatever.
One of the videos,
big shocker that people would trust me.
One of the videos that I couldn't find while I was looking for it last night. Now, I will admit that I didn't do like that thorough of a search because I was tired and was dealing with other things. Where she was talking about how, well, I'm not involved in non sequitur or whatever the hell she was trying to say. And then she doubled down on some allegations. I left one comment that said source. She then blocked me from the channel after taking just enough time to say, I know you're involved in this, and that's where she made the accusation.
Oh, yeah, dive into that real quick, because I want
to...
Dive into that real quick, will you?
Oh, well, that was about the time when she made the accusations that I was involved in the commentary account, which she said was trying to impersonate her. Which is blatantly not the case that this account is trying to impersonate her at all. There's another account that is a parody account, but also is not trying to impersonate her at all. Like,
right.
The idea of it, and then there were the claims that this person was messaging them or messaging their coworkers that nobody was able to verify and was never addressed again. As far as
I could tell you right now, I will give you my word, my solemn word. Cheshire has fuck all to do with any of those accounts. I have fuck all to do with any of those accounts, and I mean that as I don't know who they are. Doesn't mean I don't associate. Of course, I associate with them. I talk to them in DM quite frequently, but I mean I don't have any relationship to them. I don't know who they are. They didn't even know who we were until recently. Yeah. Anybody who's saying
this
that
account has been around for longer than I have been showing up on YouTube.
Yeah, so it's just bizarre.
If she thinks it's me, it makes no sense.
And Ozzy
she apologized for that.
Ozzy Globehead said I'll be in LA next September. Awesome, that's a couple hours for me. I'll be in LA next week. No, wait, two and a half weeks. But also I saw a name in here that I don't know if they're Christy Blanchard said since we left by proxy is when she started saying things that were not true. Now, is that somebody who actually is relation to Gypsy Road Blanchard? I'm just kind of curious, and if what they know about the whole by proxy thing by Fanny. Now, again, I've talked to Fanny. She seems legit, right? I don't know anything about her. Everything she's. Oh, you're her stepmom. Okay. Now, Katie. I'm sorry. Fanny has agreed to talk about by proxy later on. We've got other things we're working out first, but she wants to come onto this channel to do cyberbullying. I'm happy to do that. But I honestly have not done a deep dive into the whole Gypsy Rose Blanchard thing. I need to.
You mean it will be an unrelated topic that you'll be talking about, so you won't be talking about the other thing?
Yeah, the whole cyberbullying, I don't think has anything to do with any of that. So, I mean, she's really into that, and I did episodes before on cyberbullying, and, I take it very, very personally when people cyberbully people, and so I wanted to do something with her on that. But I haven't done a deep dive yet on the Gypsy Rhodes thing, and I need to, because I think that, again, knowing what I know about Katie, she's gotten facts wrong. She's used it to her advantage, but I don't know to what extent. That is something I haven't looked into, so I apologize for that.
Andreas, knock 50. No message. Thank you.
Thank you. If by the way, if you want to message me on DM, oh, she says if you want to reach out to me too, Steve, then do so. Yeah, I will be doing that. I will have to find you on Twitter, but I'm easy to find on Twitter. That's my main source of communication. So just Steve McCrae _ at Steve McCrae _ MCRAE.
I'm pretty sure that Katie's email address was public. I don't think the commentary account was like doxing her email or anything.
Okay. So I will find you, Christy, in the next couple days, maybe probably later on tonight. I would like to look more into that situation, and if you have a lot to talk about as far as like how Katie's involved with this, I'm really kind of curious. Now, from my understanding, and you can say yes or no, that my understanding is that the family did not like the way it was going with, I believe, Netflix or Hulu, and they gave rights to Fanny to have the entire rights to the story. She's making it something called in proxy, which is in production. She's a showrunner. And so far that the family's been pretty happy with that. How Katie's involved with this, I'm not quite sure.
Van Flyheit for US $5. Bloop to you too. Josiah Hansen, $2 US. Seen the latest Kent Hovind / Matt Powell bullshit? Question mark.
I have. Well,
I have not.
I have and I haven't. I know of it. Are you talking about with Nakasushi? I'm kind of aware of it. I know they're going after Nakasushi. I believe that Ken has, one of them outright lied. One of them has, I don't know. It's Ken Hovind and Matt Power. Now, somebody in the live chat says Fancy is not legit, not even in the slightest, and she's a bully herself. Well, here's the thing. She hasn't come across that way to me at all. And so, I mean, I'm objective. I do look at the evidence. People know this about me by now. And so I would like to get Chrissy Blanchard's opinion on that directly from her, because she's related to the family. I think that's
that's a good way to get information. Yeah.
In fact, I'll add you right now.
Yeah.
Can you take it for a second? And I wanted to look at a few things real quick.
Check it. Yeah. Double check the chat, because there's a couple people still going on about it as well. Somebody named True Crime with Team Natasha. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with Matt Powell and Kent Hovind. Did they team up against Nakasuchi? Are they doing a double team?
Something along those lines. Yeah, I guess so.
Interesting. Maybe we can get Naka on to come and talk about it, because that could be. I mean, maybe not on this show, but because it doesn't really make sense to have it here. Or I might reach out to him and ask what the hell is going on, and maybe we can cover a little bit of it next week.
So by the way,
I have some personal stuff that I'll probably be going over either next week or the week after. I'm just waiting for things to settle down, just to give you guys a heads up about, because, Steve's getting all the attention and I'm sad about it.
And she's filled me in a lot.
Kawasa for 10 says, well, Katie's about lost all credibility at this point anyway.
Oh no, she lost all credibility ages ago. We if you go back to the other channel, not the other channel, but the Great Debate Community channel that I own, we did a basically expose on Katie, and we showed all the fuckery that she did with all of this, right? I mean, we laid it out. Katie's saying this, that none of this is true. She has apologized for that now, obviously, but we exposed her as being dishonest, disreputable, not caring about facts. And then she goes on her channel going, I only care about the truth. Oh, I'm throwing the bullshit flag on that right out. Just boom, red flag on the play. But I did follow you, Christy, right now. She says she's Gypsy's stepmom. No, I know Fancy isn't related to the family, but Christy's related to the family. But this person, Gibson, says, Fancy is literally crazy. I don't even mean that in a derogatory way, but she needs mental help. She has bullied so many people online. Again, I haven't seen that. But what is, can I ask real quick, if you don't mind, Katie, Kathy, by the way, and by the way, just to note, I love the name Kathy. That was the only real big person I've ever really was majorly in love with was named Catherine.
Oh, good job. So. Now you've made this person uncomfortable.
Yeah, there you go. That's sexually harassing her. It's just, I have affinity to the name Catherine. But
Josiah
anyway,
Hansen, $2.
So I'm biased.
Says,
just throwing bias out there.
Unadulterated attention for Tresh. Sorry, Steve. Oh, thanks. I'm kidding. It's just, I don't actually. Listen. I don't. It was a joke. I'm not serious. But we will talk about it, because I think it's only fair to do so you guys know what's going on and know what's happened.
Now here's some interesting things. Because the two people that are saying this about Fancy. Fancy's definitely crazy. If you send me an email address, I'll send you proof that she's bullying people. Both of them have no content on their channel. They have no subscribers. They have no videos, no avatars. It's like, like almost like troll accounts. But I'm curious from Christie's Blanchard's point of view about what she knows about Fancy. Which should I look into this with Fancy? Should I reach out to these other people that are saying that she's...
You mean people are informing you about a guest ahead of time and you're taking their information and asking them to contact you? What?
Well, like somebody else said, listen to Gene, but all these people that are telling me this, they don't have any videos. They have no content. So it's hard to take them seriously because they have no history, right? I look at people's history a little bit, right? I look to see if they've established themselves. I've been around YouTube for 6-7 years.
The point is that you're trying. You're saying, oh, okay, you have this information. Can you please give me this information so I can actually verify what you're saying is true? Because, you don't just take people on their word alone.
Right, but all these... okay, but...
Consistency?
No, and see, like Gene says, that's because I'm on Facebook. I'm not a troll. I'm a real person. Fancy actually blackmailed me and my husband, who is military. Okay, again, I try to get benefit for the people that doubt. I'm not calling them trolls. I'm just telling them that it's very similar to what I've seen for people that have, thrown out these types of accusations. But I will give benefit of the doubt. A lot of people are saying that she's a bully. Okay, so Christy says yes, we can talk about Fancy. All right, so I will listen to people.
People are saying they'll send you the information. So please, by all means, please send the information so that everything can be looked into and anything that needs to be addressed can be addressed.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I want to be known, and Cheshire, I know, wants to be known. We want to know. We want to get our shit straight and factual. We want to be objective. Now we're not in time. In time is myopically so, right? They do the deep dives. And Cheshire, by the way, is the one that actually does the deep dives for them. But I want to make sure that everything's legit. Now, again, even if people tell me this stuff about Fancy, and maybe she is a bully, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not telling the truth on things, right? So
that's true.
Wait. That's true.
Oh God, we're gonna do this every time.
Yes, we are.
Oh no.
Never gonna stop doing it, people.
I'm gonna have
never gonna stop doing it.
I'm gonna have tanky arms.
It's true.
It's true.
I know she does two hands. She does two hands, doesn't she? I don't remember. I know
sometimes,
she
yeah. It's usually the mom does one hand, and then she goes back and forth between one hand, and like she switches it up, and it's true.
It's true. By the way, I am on I'm on Facebook. For the people that are out there on these other accounts, find me on Facebook as well. It's just Steve McRae.
Steve just uses a name for everything.
Yeah, I've had online presence for decades. If not longer. I have a large history that, like on my Facebook, people have known me since I was literally in diapers. I have my babysitters are on my Facebook page. They're sisters. So I have a long standing of being ethical and transparent. Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Nobody's calling anybody in the chat a troll right now.
No, not at all.
What is being said right now is like that Steve has seen some of this information that hasn't come to fruition, that he hasn't been able to get the information from these people, or the information hasn't panned out. He wants to see your information so he can verify what you're saying.
Yep,
that's
exactly.
Exactly.
Please
contact him.
Fancy Maselli, I think is her name. She's the showrunner for By Proxy. Now, I've heard that I guess the family now has left that particular episode By Proxy as well. So I don't know the nuances of this, and therefore I'm not the person to really give you guys any information on it. I'm not going to do that if I'm not confident. I just don't want to put out misinformation. Why? I think there's a word for these things called due diligence or something. And I'm not even a journalist.
Investigating before you report on something?
Yeah, I mean, I am not an investigative reporter. What I am is a person on the internet who's not an idiot that has talked about things, and I'm glad people listen, and I want people to join. That's and by the way, this is not our typical stuff. For the people that are here for the Katie stuff, this is not my typical stuff on this channel. This is what we usually do once a week on Caffeine Corner. This happens to be a special edition. But what we do on this channel is science related and philosophy related. It's just that I've taken a step back because I'm waiting for some legal stuff to come to fruition. But this is not our normal thing. Just want to throw that out there.
We have Ask a Philosopher on Friday.
Yeah.
And you've got Ozzy coming on for more Ask a Philosopher.
But for the people that want who Fancy is the showrunner for By Proxy, if you want to go look that up. But again, I'm not going to be derogatory to her. She's been very civil to me. I just want to know all sides. And there's just so much history here. There's literally been dozens of people that I've ran into on different platforms that have been telling me all kinds of things. But the one thing they all have in common is that they all think fucking Katie is always wrong. Every one of them has told me this. It's like, even though you agree with her on this, agree with her on that, they've all said that she just doesn't care about the facts. So that is something that I find to be interesting.
At least there's something that's consistent about it.
There's consistency among the people that are disagreeing on the things with unfortunately, with the situation with Gypsy Rose. Again, from my understanding, she was a child that killed her mom that was having Munchausen by proxy, which is when you continually think your kid is sick to try to get sympathy. So yeah, nobody's a Katie fan except for her sycophants that do not know about any of this stuff because they've all gone to her channel and they've known her 2 months going, you are just so honest, Katie. You are just so sweet. How could these people be so mean to you? Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, it's just whatever.
Well, the thing is, the more shit she talks about this kind of shit, the more her fans are going to get exposed to it. So she's not doing herself any favors. Well, of course, even if she's blocking them, you know who's not? The fans.
Yeah.
Just because she blocks somebody doesn't mean to get... That's not how Twitter works!
What was the exact quote? Do you have the exact quote?
The exact quote is, hold on.
Okay.
No, don't actually. This is the... I'm quoting it.
Yeah.
This is part of the quote. Hold on. That's not how Twitter works, you slanderous bitch!
That's exactly what he did. he slapped, like on his keyboard. You could hear him walk away, and then yells from it across the room. Yeah, no, I will give you guys my word. I'm reaching out to Christy Blanchard. I already followed her. She has to follow me back so I can DM her. Probably won't be doing that until after, obviously, the show. But Christy, follow me back on Twitter, and then fill me in on this stuff. Because, again, I am really naive on what's been going on with this stuff. I don't follow the whole Amber thing and the 16 pregnant. I don't watch reality TV. I literally just heard of Gypsy Rose a couple weeks ago. So, but
there's a lot to catch up on.
But again,
if you have any information, please send it.
Even if all this stuff was true, right? And I give everybody the benefit of the doubt about Fancy. I still may have a show with Fancy about cyberbullying because I do. If she can actually have a good episode on cyberbullying that I agree with, I'm not going to deplatform her. I don't do cancel culture.
It's unrelated.
It's unrelated, but I do want to get all sides. I want to. People don't think that I do my due diligence. I really freaking do. But I don't always tell people things because people tell me things in private. People know I don't show private messages. People know that I don't disclose things when people tell me don't disclose things, even to my detriment. But I can guarantee right now, people have seen things that I've not made public that would vindicate me on everything anybody's ever fucking said. I've got documentation coming out my yin yang and all this shit. This is why anybody who thinks they can fight me in court is out of their fucking mind.
So it's also really interesting to if she is in fact a cyberbully and maybe is in a position where she actually hasn't, because the thing is a bully can still be bullied. But if she is a cyberbully, that still makes for an interesting conversation because you're talking to a cyberbully about cyberbullying.
Mm. Yeah, so which would be interesting, right? So you're a cyberbully. You're a cyber bully. Bullying people, let's talk about that, right? Or even still, even if she's a cyber bully like people claim, there might be productive value to have a discussion with her and see where that leads. I don't know, again, but I don't do the cancel culture thing.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We've got a question about when the next rum and coke night's going to be, and we got a question about what if you have a time set for Friday.
Next rum and coke night will be this Saturday probably. I'm still trying to get a special guest for it who wants to come on. We'll see.
Who could it be? This animal that I did see. Can you help me guess this mystery?
And what was the other question?
Time for Friday. Ask a philosopher.
Oh, I think 6 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, Ozzy's going to be there for that one. The new people that are joining my channel, Ozzy is a master's level philosopher that I consider PhD level because he's an ABT, APHD, which means all but thesis PhD. And he doesn't like that me calling him that, so sorry, Ozzy. But that's my little thing. He's a smart dude, though. But we're going to be talking about ichtheism and theological cognitivism, and I'm going to be running some of my arguments, not really arguments, but my understandings of these things to Ozzy. And try to relate what's called the Frege-Geach embedding problem to theological cognitivism, vice moral non-cognitivism, which, by the way, is a bunch of fancy philosophical speak. Don't think you're going to understand it. Don't even try to understand it at this point. We will talk about it Friday. But hey.
God's Auditor says, has actually a really good idea, which I kind of like, and I'm going to jump off of. One of these days, you're going to have a Caffeine Corner Bailey's edition, just because I have to maintain my image as an alcoholic. That's
awesome.
A really good idea, and I think if we do that, it should be like more like a rum and coke hangout with like maybe 4 or 5 of us, where we can get in if and when Rachel is feeling up to it, and if and when Cosmic Skeptic or Rationality Rules all can get on, because then we'll actually be in a time frame where they can come.
I know that Cosmic Skeptic and Rachel were supposed to have a conversation. We were going to arrange it.
Rachel's feeling, she did come out with a video today, which I recommend you guys checking out, just giving everybody an update of seeing where she's at and how she's feeling. She looks like she's doing a lot better.
Yeah, that's good, and I'm my heart goes out to Rachel. I stand with her, and Cosmic Skeptic was willing to have a conversation with her. He told me this. Now, again, I reached out to Cosmic Skeptic to have a conversation with him on something unrelated, where he had a conversation with Richard Dawkins.
I thought he said he was going to actually be away around this time when we were setting up the time for Rachel Oates anyway.
Yeah, he did.
So that he might not have gotten back to you because he's away.
Yeah.
He might get back to you when he gets.
I'm not worried about it. I can email Alex anytime. Cosmic Skeptic and I have always had good rapport. I just happened to disagree when he had an interview with Richard Dawkins. I happen to agree with Dawkins, which is really strange because I'm not a big fan of Richard Dawkins, as people I know, right? I mean, just his philosophy I think is kind of skewed. But in this particular case, I think he was making forth a good argument, and I think that Alex was making a poor argument. And people may not know it, but like Rationality Rules and I have corresponded numerous times on philosophy, and a lot of it is on Alex's philosophy, because when Alex was talking about some of his more moral positions, I kind of messaged, Rationality Rules going, did you listen to him? Is this making sense to you? And he's like, no. He's like, dude, I've talked to him about this, and I've explained to him the same things, and we came up with the exact same analysis. And this is one of the reasons why I think the Rationality Rules and I, philosophically speaking, are on the same page, because we look at things the very same way. But it's not to call Alex out as in a bad way, right? I don't do that. Just to have a
conversation.
Just to have a conversation. I respect him immensely, right? I have no negative things to Alex whatsoever. I think the guy is just amazing. But I'm not going to play this tribalistic game that, because he's Alex, Cosmic Skeptic, and he's one of the leading people in the atheist community. And by the way, I'm not. I'm not an atheist. I'm not theist either. But I wanted to have a conversation with him, and I've had conversations with Alex before.
That's the thing. If you're friends with somebody and you want to help, and you're in a group and you're in a tribe and you want your tribe to get better, you know what's helpful? Conversation to improve yourselves. Yeah.
And like I said, Alex and I have always gone along. We had a great conversation with Dr. Malpass on. I forget what he was even on, but I just remember it was a good conversation. It was on morality, but I don't remember the specifics of the moral conversation. I think it was on moral realism. It was more moral realism. But it didn't really go anywhere. But it was interesting.
Yeah, he's talking about Cosmic Skeptic. Yes.
Yes, I am Alex O'Connor. Great guy. I mean, he's just a really genuinely nice guy. And I think that he's just started going to college. He's learning philosophy, and he's doing an exceptionally good job. But again, his moral ontology was a little strange because he was conflating ontology with epistemology, and he was saying that he was a moral he was a moral non-cognitivist, but at the same time saying that he was a moral relativist and subjectivist, and these things just don't mix well with each other. So it was like, I'm trying to understand your positions here, Alex, but you're confusing me. So, and I thought it may have been just me. That's why I reached out to Rationality Rules, going, does this make sense to you?
Hanson again for $2 US. It's yin yang, not yin yang. That just bugs me. It is yin yang, not yin yang.
Yin yang. What?
The cluster of hair in the middle. No, I am a trash goblin. Why would I fix it?
By the way, I saw a comment here, and I missed. Now I got to go back and find it. But somebody had said, "Oh, thank you, Thanalon 101." They say, "Oh, I totally forgot. Steve is cute and nutty today as well. Thank you. Sexual harassment. I love it. Please."
Somebody said we need to spend more time bullying Steve.
And now this going to feed it. Well, by the way, some people have been running a narrative a year ago that's like Steve's narcissistic and has an ego, merely because I get people pushback, and they don't like that. But I'm actually very much have self-esteem issues and very shy around women, which is why when people say sexual harassment, I'm like, you really don't fucking know me. It's like, no. But but I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm very flattered because I'm having my hair done for a date that I have in 2 weeks. I got contacts. I'm starting to feel a lot better about myself. So I appreciate that. I take it complimentary. Thank you.
Still waiting for pieces to fall into place, but things are going in a good direction. I'll be able to get you guys caught up on what's been going on with me and my stuff in the background, hopefully either next Monday or the Monday after, depending, and I'm looking forward to that. Is there anything else? Because we've been going for almost 110 minutes.
We can go into, how's all your Tinder situations?
But I don't have a Tinder.
Yeah, but you know what? Everybody wants to know about Tinder, I guess, and your penis size, because I think those are like
my Grindr account.
Your Grindr account. Yeah, these are the things that people want to talk about, supposedly. Hint, other channel. But
what channel? New channel? Who dis?
Yeah, but and by the way, there are a lot of people that are new to this channel, I guess, and I appreciate it. There's actually somebody that actually accused Cheshire, and for some reason thinking it was derogatory, of being trans, which again to us bugs us because they're using trans as a derogatory term. And my other co-host that comes on every so often, Cheshire's my main one. She's my main squeeze co-host. But my other co-host is trans, and it's extremely offensive.
Okay, so here's the thing.
One,
I wasn't offended by this person calling me this because this person was ridiculous trying to use it as a pejorative, and I don't view it as a pejorative, so I didn't care. Right. At least when it's being used in that way towards me. Now, if that person had said it to her, I probably would have been a little bit more like, hey, go fuck yourself.
Right.
But they said it to me, and my response was, which way am I going then?
They couldn't answer. They also called my daughter trans, a 14-year-old daughter, and I'm like, how is they thought they called my daughter a 14-year-old acting, a trans that was acting, which
acting.
I don't know, but I'm like, even if my daughter was trans, why it would make a bit of difference to me?
I have one way of describing this person. If you believe in one conspiracy theory, you believe in all the conspiracy
I think there's a rabbit hole to be had from that. And by the way,
oh my God,
Arato is your muse says, Steve, you are a sexy beast. You will do great on your date. And by the way, I would go out with Arato. She knows this. I think she's attractive and she's very sweet. So, I mean, but I've never sexually harassed her in any way. But she's a really sweet woman, and I'd be flattered to go on a date with her, actually. But people are adults, we're allowed to date people. I don't understand. First of all, it's nobody else's fucking business who you go out with, but I'm transparent. People know this. I don't like playing games like, oh, I'm dating this woman, but I'm going to date this woman and do it. Not going to ever happen. People know that I'm going out with a date in 22 weeks. I'm very happy about it. I'm proud of it. I'm braggadocio about it, Because
why is the coffee maker silent? Because it's an espresso machine.
I don't
know what it is.
It's an espresso machine. And matter of fact, by the way, fun fact, this espresso machine is the exact same one No Plum has. Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, yes.
That's the other person that we need to get on for Bailey.
I would go out with Nicole Davis as well. Nicole Davis has asked me out. She lives in Colorado. I would be flattered to go out with her as well. So, hey.
I can't go out with anybody. Apparently, I'm in a committed relationship with Red's Rhetoric.
Yeah, weird.
And
that you're only 17. That's weird too.
And I'm 17, yeah.
Does your parents know that you're dating at that age? Silence. Dead silence. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. By the way, twist. She's actually dating Russian vids. Okay.
Oh shit.
What a twist.
What a twist.
What a twist. That's true.
Little did you know I'm actually one of Flat Earth Ozzy Jesus's adult children that aren't vaccinated.
Okay, to be fair, Bullinator, I love you very much. You are one of my dear friends. I respect the hell out of you. I would go out with you to have a beer with you at any time, any place, if I had to walk through hell to do it. You're not getting any. But,
What?
But I love you.
Helios said that Reds told them that he was dating him, And Reds has also said he's dating you. Reds is a fucking player. Look at this.
Damn right, Red's a player.
He's dating everybody. He's been lying to all of us.
You don't
What
no
an
idea
asshole.
how much Reds and I have you in the dark late at night, because we figure in the dark, it's fine. We don't have to have eye contact.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Well, listen, all I'm saying is, like, okay, this episode needs to be retitled Red's Rhetoric Exposed.
oh, we're gonna have a whole episode on that. We are.
Multiple relationships.
Let's do that. How about that, Chesh? Let's do that. Let's have a parody Res Rhetoric exposed episode.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm totally down for that.
We're gonna pull on everybody.
Reds, you don't know what the hell's coming your way, bitch.
I'm overweight. Reds is anorexic. He's dating everybody.
These are all things that have been said, by the way. It would be
Him and Russian vids are actually the same person.
everything's been said. We're gonna have a show. We're gonna have a conspiracy theory show on Reds. That would be brilliant. We're gonna expose him for the NASA shill that he is.
What a fraud!
Fraud. Yeah.
All of his rocket videos.
By the way,
he doesn't even live in Florida.
I had people tell me they refer to me as the fat guy from Non Sequitur Show, and I'm like, people have seen me full form. I'm anything but fat. Yes, I wouldn't mind losing 5 pounds, but I have a little dad belly. But it's like, do you think I'm fat? Are you kidding me? Nothing against fat people at all. I mean, nothing. Like, but it's just I'm not. Chester's not. Why would it be derogatory? Right? Again, I hate people using these terms as weapons. Oh, you're homophobic. You're fat. These are not weapons to be used in that regard. I'm sorry. I think it's just bizarre that people think it somehow, should be used as a negative comment to somebody.
Listen, hold on. Are you suggesting we remove your mama fat jokes?
Oh no, I love fat jokes. Don't get me wrong. I again, dark humor.
Steve
right?
ain't fat, he's thick.
I'm thick. I got thick. Look at my arms. Do I look like I'm thick? I mean, I'm skinny, actually. By the way, I have the most gorgeous hands. I will admit that. This is my narcissism. My hands are always clean.
For some silly reason.
I'm not a germaphobe. It's just I'm 50 years old. I'll be 50 or almost. I'm 50 years old in February. Not a goddamn wrinkle, people. So not a liver spot.
Steve's so mad.
I'm triggered. It's the coffee. I've had a lot of coffee.
We need to get
It's what we do on Caffeine Corner. Right?
We need to get like a soundboard and or like something that just does like a little bit of like video work on the fly, so that way if one of us is triggered, we hit the button and the camera like.
Maybe I could get somebody to go find Jamie going. It's through.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know why I have a thing for her like that. I don't get it. It's like, it's just fascinating to see her just be so bizarre.
I don't know, man. We're at 117 minutes.
Wow. With 300 people still. All right, I guess we can wrap this up because I said at the beginning. The people at the very beginning who heard this will be a short show, about 30 minutes.
30 minutes. I don't know if you heard what I said in response. Yeah, all right.
People may not remember, but I used to have like 8-hour hangouts.
Steve is
back in the day.
Fucking dirty liar.
Yeah.
We should do a 24-hour one.
I done one like that. You don't.
I've done one too. I did one for my birthday stream, not this year, last year.
It's hard, right?
I played Kingdom Hearts for 24 hours. End my suffering.
Yeah, I did. It was back then you could only stream for 8 hours, and so I did 3 8-hour hangouts, 24 hours. God, did that suck.
Oh my god, I don't even know. You know what? I could probably.
Oh yeah,
as long as I prepped for it. I would need to prep for it.
Look at Hana. It says Steve, hands and short fingernails are a must. So well done. I do got to trim them. I manicure, bitch. I manicure. I like clean, nice fingernails.
My nails are actually doing pretty good, except I recently had to cut this one because it got ripped.
No, but I do got to. I do got to.
Right now.
But I got to cut them short every so often when I play guitar. Like I haven't played guitar for a while, so I let them grow a little bit.
Hey, does chat want to pick a color for my nails since they're not painted right now?
There you go.
You guys want to pick a color?
How about for my nails? What color should I make my nails?
Chat, it's on you. You've been given this responsibility. Teal. For me or Steve?
Well, I would have to have somebody do mine.
Glow in the dark. I don't have glow in the dark. Translucent. Goblin green. Ooh.
Ooh, goblin green. I like that.
Goblin green is good.
Yeah.
Purple, pink, blue, black, purple. That's 2 purples.
No chartreuse, no
2
sepia.
for teals, 2 for green, 3 for green.
No seafoam green.
Steve's pink.
Yeah, kind of a go. They all want me to do pink. I have nothing against the color pink. I actually had a pink shirt that I really liked. I think real men wear pink. Yeah. Smug cyan. That should be a color, smug cyan.
Red and black.
But so
right.
let's wrap this up. For the people that are just now new to this channel, by the way, please like and subscribe and share this video. And
95% painted.
Do me a favor also, though. Leave a comment in the video description. Okay, you can tell me about people, whatever. Fill me in if you want to leave a comment. I do read all the comments that come my way. But I am inundated with messages a lot lately. But I would appreciate if you leave comments and let me know. So.
Climate change red.
Oh, and by the way, have you guys noticed something? I don't think anybody has been timed out or hidden in the live chat since we started, unlike other channels.
I think I saw a warning go out, but that was it. I don't think I saw anybody.
Very rare.
I saw one message get redacted. It's like they pulled their own message.
Yeah, but unlike like Katie's channel, her mods are just, you say anything that they construed as negative, or boom, you're gone. And then the other channel, like the non sequitur channel, now boom, you say anything negative, you're gone. He's deleted over 1,000 comments now, by the way. But here we want people to engage. We want people to have discourse. We want people to have divisive conversations, and then try to see if we can have a meeting of the minds and resolve it from some kind of dialectic synthesis. Is called. You get into like Hegelian dialectics, but I want people to have conversations. And so, to me, when people say Steve shuts down conversation or Steve is against criticism, it's just bizarre, because anybody who's followed me for years knows that's the antithesis of what I do and what we want here. So, all right.
There you go. Get yourself a smug for next time.
How many times are we going to wrap this up? I bought a smug, but it hasn't come in yet.
We're gonna keep wrapping it up until we finally one day actually leave and shut the fuck up.
All right, so you guys want us to wrap this up? You guys had enough of this, I think, because I don't know where else we can go with this. Quick question before you log off. Ashley says, you want PM to your Facebook profile with the evidence in regards to April Jones bullying, correct? Yeah, it's fine. You could DM me on Twitter. You can PM me on Facebook. Everything that's sent to me private stays private. People can tell you that I do not release private information. There was an incident 4 years ago where I did for Fiona Robertson. And there was a person named what the hell was her name? Oh my God, it's been so long. I can't remember her name. People may remember the situation. I think it starts with an H. But anyway, she accused me of something, and I was like, bullshit. And I showed the private messages. This was years and years ago, and I showed the messages, and Fiona's messages happened to be included in that. I apologized profusely to Fiona for that afterwards, and my thing was that back then, hey, if you're going to accuse me of shit and then block me and blah, 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 other things, I'm going to tell people the truth, because I have no other way of exposing people. I think people can do that in some regards if they want to, but I thought about that and I changed my position on it, and I've said I don't want to be that person. So ever since then, I have not shown any private messages, nor do I ever intend to, unless it's absolutely egregious reasons to. So I think there is higher ethical concerns to be had in some cases, but I have not had any of those happen yet. So your messages are pretty safe with me.
I don't give a shit, though. So if you send me messages, go fuck yourself.
But it's so funny, because somebody the other day brought up something with Fiona, and it's just like, yeah, it did happen, and I apologize to Fiona. People say I don't apologize. I literally apologized to her for showing her, and it wasn't even anything of any consequence, but it still was showing her private messages. And sometimes it happens accidentally. I did with somebody else accidentally not long ago. It wasn't anything major, but I apologize. They were fine with it. But I do try to make sure that doesn't happen. So.
Well, there you go.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll get on Facebook when I'm done with this. My Facebook doesn't update very, very easily sometimes for some reason.
It's been sufficiently booped. People are asking for an after show.
This is after of what?
Hey Steve, when are you doing a Patreon hangout?
This Saturday I'm going to do a Patreon hangout. Yeah, I'll announce. I've already told people I'll announce it. And by the way, I will put my Patreon in right now. I am living off Patreon, yes, and it has gone up tremendously. I appreciate that. And everybody, I met my goal. I wanted to get 150 Patreons. I met that. But if you still wanted to be a Patreon, there you go. I appreciate it. I will be having a lot more content after mid-October. I'm going on vacation, as people know, to LA. And because of legal issues, I'm kind of not having the productions that I want to have. But eventually I will, so I appreciate that. All right, guys. Good night. Cheshire?
Can we see Puck? Everybody wants to see Puck. 1 second. Yeah,
all right, show
he's
Puck
right
and
here.
we'll end with that. There we go.
Gonna end on the dog. Can you guys see him? Can you see the stinky pupper? High five! Yeah.
We can't do any better than that cute puppy. All right.
Oop.
So, good night, guys. Thanks for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, and all that other stuff. To the new people to the channel, again, may not be our usual content, but we do things on Mondays, and we hope that you like the other stuff we put out as well. But please share this video and get the word out about Katie, that we all know she is. This is not going to fly. I'm not upset by it. I was going to even let it go. But when she tells people that you have to believe a woman just because she says so, I did take umbrage to that. And it's not just a woman; it's anybody, a man included. I mean, if you're gonna want equal rights and not have sexism, you've got to treat people equally. And a man could be just as lying as anybody else. So, good night, guys.